Hi guys, what is going on? Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel where I focus on free-to-play, early game and mid-game stuff. Guys, it's the last day of my holiday. I don't know why, but I always feel like we don't have much time on the first and the last day. Well, I guess I know why, packing, moving, doing stuff. Yeah, I'm on a bit of a non-edit mode here, just quickly giving you my opinion on Senguin Maria, because I feel like there has been a lot of confusion, and rightfully so, and people are angry, and rightfully so. The nerf, really, I don't understand the way Plarium has done this. Like, first of all, the communication. If there is a nerf incoming, please let the people know. That's let the players know. That's one thing. And then the others, I guess, the other thing is that I really don't understand how this can happen, to be honest. Like, there have been situations in the past where Plarium had to do stuff like this, and I sometimes feel like they are not too deep in their own game, in terms of understanding it. I guess this is always easily said when you look at it from my perspective, and Plarium has to think about a lot of stuff and do a lot of stuff, and doing a game is crazy complicated. So yeah, I guess we'll never know what really happened behind the scenes, but it is what it is. Senguin Maria is being nerfed. That being said, she is being nerfed because she was able to do pretty crazy solo stuff, at least from Plarium's point of view. I don't feel like that was too crazy. Like, it wasn't like she was able to do really hard content without crazy gear. You needed, if you wanted to do high content, like dungeons on hard mode, stage 10, if you wanted to do that, you needed really, really strong gear, most insane relics, and all the craziness. So I don't know her solo potential in lower levels. I feel like that would have been pretty strong as well. But there is a lot of champions that can do that. A lot of champions that can solo on lower levels. And so I don't really understand Plarium's reasoning here to nerf her. That being said, I feel like the actual nerf is actually pretty decent. I think they have done a decent job. Don't butcher me here for this. Like, hear me out. The thing that I feel like Senguin Maria still is a good champion. She still is a great champion, certainly for PvP, but Plarium has managed to nerf her and nerf her solo potential without jeopardizing her being a strong champion in certain PvE situations as well. And I think that is pretty strong. I think that is well done. I think we've got to give it to them, even in times like this, when they do a decent job at something, and I feel like they did here. She can still do very good damage in Hydra, it seems. You'll need alright gear for that, but her potential goes up the better your gear gets over time. She is still strong against waves. She has lockout on her A2, I think, if I remember right. In any case, she has cooldown reduction, which can be very nice against waves. She is crazy in PvP content. She is still going to be decent for Fire Knight. She has a pretty crazy kit and she does pretty crazy damage. And if you set her up right, then she is still going to be, even for PvE, a pretty strong champion. And her A2 still does, against bosses and every other kind of monster and enemy in the game, pretty crazy damage. So I feel like my plans for her haven't changed fundamentally, to be quite honest. That being said, if you wanted her for the solo aspect, that's gone. That's really gone. Yeah, but she's still a decent champion. Still a strong champion. That being said, my excitement went down a bit. That much is 100% for sure. And I'm still not 100% sure on how I am going to approach this fusion. And I really quickly want to talk about the fusion calendar here, just because I haven't done that yet, and I wanted to take this opportunity just to do that real quick. I am doing Ice Golem right now. I'm doing champion training. I definitely would have done champion training anyways. Ice Golem, yeah, that's a bit of a pity that I have to do this before I'm 100% sure if I want to go for Senguin Maria. But I guess we'll have to, make do sometimes. Gear enhancement, I have to level up champions gear anyways. Spider is fine, I'll do that. Champion training is fine. Fire Knight, Savage, Dragon, Speed gear. A champion chase tournament is going to be, from what I hear, it's going to be Ancients. So, I have a lot of Ancients, and pulling Ancients on a 2x event is still the best shard to pull on 2x events. So I'm absolutely fine with this as well. For me personally, she won't jeopardize my hopes to get Leonardo. So I'm pretty fine with that. The biggest thing for me here, and I feel like we can double dip in a lot of places as well. So I feel like this is, like, it's a decent fusion, and it is one that I can do without investing too many resources that I would feel bitter about. You know, there is 2 Gear Hunter events here and a Hero's Path that has gear hunting in it. But the 2 Gear Hunter events, they are in decent spots, and we can, you know, do a decent amount of stuff next to it and tournaments next to it in order to get the points that we need. So I feel like that's fine. The biggest thing here, and I mean everybody else has said that as well, is the Hero's Path. Like, we can't skip any events. We have 200 fragments from tournaments, 175 from events, and then 25 from the Hero's Path. So we can't skip anything at all, unless we get the extra 50 fragments from the Hero's Path. And that is going to be opening shards, getting artifacts. And the big question that we have to ask ourselves is, do we go for the Summon Rush or do we go for the Hero's Path? And this is where I'm really struggling, because I really don't know. I guess it's weird to have a content creator sitting here and telling you that he doesn't know and he doesn't have a recommendation. But this is really weird to me, to be quite honest, because if we go for the Summon Rush, that's 6 Sacreds or 5 Sacreds if you open a couple of mysteries. If we go for the Summon Rush, then we still have to go for 25 fragments in the Hero's Path, and then the question comes up, you know, would it be cheaper to go for the 50 fragments that we have in here instead of going for the Summon Rush? Also, it gets us to that weird situation, to that weird spot where we might have 25 fragments more than we need. If Plarium, you know, gets the 25 fragments first and then the 50 in succession, or are the 50 separate? And are the 50 more expensive than the Summon Rush or not? Like, it's really weird. I can't make up my mind about this. I'm half feeling go for the Summon Rush, don't miss out. Other content creators are actually recommending going for the Hero's Path, but not really saying why, and not really saying how much resources that would cost or cost in the past. And I couldn't find any information on that. And the other part of me says, go for the Hero's Path, and if it is too weird and too crazy, just don't go for Senguin Maria, because she is a good champion. She would help me on my account. I would mostly want her for Hydra as a damage dealer. That being said, she's very strong there, but she isn't insane. She's very strong. And I also would love to get her for PvP and a bit of fun in PvP and siege battles and live arena and stuff like that. She would just, you know, improve my roster. And then also the last Doom Tower rotation, I wasn't able to finish Doom Tower hard, not because of the bosses, but because of the waves. And she might be able to help me there as well. So I might just go for the Hero's Path event and not, you know, just see what happens. Just see what happens. But I'm still not sure about it, guys. How are you approaching this? I think this is like a weird situation. And I'm sorry that I can't really give any good information out there, but I'm certainly not going to sit here and tell you this is better, that is better, without really knowing, you know? Guys, I think that's it. Senguin Maria, post-nerf, still a great champion in my opinion. I think Plarium has done a poor job here in terms of all the organization, information, communication. And it's a pity that she was nerfed. And I don't understand why, but they did it. And I feel like the nerf has been alright, keeping her potential in most areas. Guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, bye.